right, good morning. It's another Sunday morning coding stream. We are continuing to do learning of game dev. I feel like the our Pong clone is good enough for now. So as charted on the screen, I have a few other little mini projects I want to try out. As I think I've mentioned every stream, I do have some things I want to work on. What I think will be interesting is that there are I have a game in mind that I want to do, and it will be a large project should it actually come to fruition, right? Should I actually dig in and build it, and that's what I'm trying to work towards. So these initial steps are me learning Godot, getting back into the swing of doing game dev because I haven't really tried to make a game in a long time, and it was always just sort of a curiosity, a thing like, oh, it'd be cool to make a game and then try things out and then put it down, right? But I think as I've demonstrated with the last couple of projects, kind of committing to things is not a problem I have as much as when I was younger. So I'm off stream thinking through what I want to do with the game, thinking about the game I want to make. And I think once we get through kind of these practice projects, some of the projects, like I think there's going to be like a hacking mini game, there's going to be some kind of persuasion or relationship mechanic, some various things where what I think I will likely do is I will pursue games that are not that are essentially those mini games, right? And so those things will be hopefully fun on their own, right? The goal there will be to make fun little games that will be embedded inside the larger game. And it won't be these. It's not like I'm going to put Pong or Breakout or Minesweeper in, anything like that. It will be something that will make sense in the context of the overall game. Thematically, will be kind of something that will be a different kind of gameplay to switch it up from kind of the more overall the game that tentatively is called Unbounded. Is going to be more of like a visual novel, sort of. A lot of dialogue, talking with people, kind of a mystery, kind of that detective noir style, but also kind of cyberpunk, which I think has a thematic intersection there, kind of visually and in kind of feel. But anyway, that is much down the road. And before I ramble any further, let's actually talk about what we're doing today. So, the last few streams, the last 4 streams, have been working on this Pong clone. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a new repository. And it's going to be a something. Can I just create a new repository from here? There we go. I think one of the things I've been considering in the last week or two is making like a template repository for these games. I feel like what I want to do though is I'm gonna make just a repository for this Breakout Clone. So we're just gonna call it Godot Breakout Clone. And if you don't know what Breakout is, that's fine. It's a game that is older than I am. Almost as old as Pong. but is one of those games that old arcade machines from many decades ago. It was on the Atari 2600, and yeah, it is a my oh cool uh, Breakout Clone to learn Godot. All right, and it'll be public. And we can add an empty README. I don't suppose we have just like a Godot. Oh, we do have a Godot.ignore template. And this will be a GPL. There it is. FRO, GPL, V3. All right, so it's a start. And right, so what I was saying though was that I think what I'll do is we'll see what I end up copying into this and how this is different from the Pong clone, and then I'll use that to kind of figure out what I want to do. I think it'll save me maybe a couple of minutes to make just a template. Some observations, some things that I did off stream. I did figure out, I created a itch.io. I think I already have one of those, but I figured out how to publish this game to there, and I had added a GitHub workflow that goes and I found a container image for like a continuous integration style thing for Godot, and so I have builds for Windows and Linux and web here, and yeah, so not that anyone, woo, it's a very simple Pong clone, right? But that's not the point. The point is for me to learn how this would work, right? And conceivably, I could have this tied into my itch.io account and have it auto upload, release new version, what have you, which might be more interesting in future projects. So that might be the sort of thing, and maybe like my VS Code settings. What's in here? Yeah. Well, I don't know that this needed to be checked in, but okay. So maybe not that, but maybe I want to have my UI folder and my editor config and things. No, we don't need to see my history. Okay. So some things I might want to have in every single project. Maybe I want to have my default bus layout, my export presets. Maybe not the project. Okay. So anyway, let's start Godot. I already have Godot open. We're gonna close this. I guess I could have done that a different way. Anyway, I think there's an option in there to close and open a new project or something like that. But we'll open Godot again. And I think there's a way to tell it to just import. No. We can't like git clone from here. Probably not. Folder. Okay, let's do this. Let me open terminal. It's coming back to me. It's been a few weeks. 5 weeks since we started the first project in Godot. And I think, let's see, documents. Yeah, that terminal before I move down. Here. I think the way I went about doing this last time was that I just created the project in Godot and then had it create a folder with everything and then set up the Git repository and pushed afterwards. I don't even remember if I did that on stream, but anyway, grab that URL. Okay, so if I click create, we're gonna call this Godot Breakout Clone. I think I'll just call it Breakout Clone, yeah? Or should it... maybe if I do it this way. There we go. Not empty. Cool. Don't create folder then. Cannot save a project to select a path, create a new subfolder, create a new path. Interesting. What if I... Okay, so we would need a project.godot file. I guess that's all we need. So maybe... I feel like maybe I'm going about this the wrong way, but we're going to do it this way. Let's see if we take this file. Yoink. And we will... project.godot. Cool. We're gonna just rename some things here. Someone left a comment on one of the VOD videos I upload to YouTube about Vim key bindings, and I don't know about using Vim key bindings. I don't know if like like the JK the kind of the home row keys don't really make sense on this keyboard with how things are set up, right? But I did respond and say, and been thinking about it, right? I've had this keyboard for more than a year now. And you know, it's not quite as natural as QWERTY to me still, because I have spent a lot of time on a QWERTY keyboard. But I think it is probably time for me to start thinking about like taking more advantage of layers. Like I have layers that I don't really use. That's not a layer key. I have layers though that like this key opens a layer that I don't use. I think this is like a media layer that I never use. And then, you know, so there's lots of things I could be doing to take more advantage of the features of this keyboard. And maybe I should. I wonder, let's just remove that for now. Interesting. Here's our auto load stuff. We'll remove those for now. Oh yeah, and then groups. Sure. We'll leave that. GUI theme. We can come back and add that, I think. And then, ooh, like UI settings are interesting. I think I'll just remove all of this for now. And I'll leave the rest. We'll commit this. I guess I hadn't made that email my primary one yet. I should do that at some point. Okay, well. Alright, one more step I need to pull down in that repo. Godot. Breakout Clone, there we go. Clear. Git pull. Now, can I import that folder? There it is. Cool. Import. So that was kind of a roundabout thing versus like I could have just created the folder from Godot and then grabbed the README and all the things. So I don't know. It's how I did it. All right, 2D here. And now we have an empty project. Woo. Let's add a 2D scene. And this is, we're gonna just call this game. That's a place to start, I think. All right. Can feel sometimes a little daunting when you have a new project, right? You could do anything. I think, what do I want to do though? Well, let's add a paddle. Right, so let's add, let's see, something in Node 2D. So we want to have something that the player will control. I was thinking, you know, for the Pong clone, what it ended up doing was I just made it so it was keyboard-based control. I wonder what it looks like to have something where we can control the paddle, which in this game goes left to right. I guess you could make a Pong clone that's oriented in that direction as well. But how I ended up doing it, the paddle went up and down. For the breakout though, we'll do left to right motion, so we can do like keyboard controls, but also it would be nice to have like, the ability to move the paddle with the mouse, or you know, a controller, like a joystick on a controller or something. I don't know. But anyway, so probably want to do what's it called? Something character body 2D, right? So it's a 2D physics body specialized for characters moved by script. Meant to be user controlled, not affected by physics at all, but they affect other physics, right? So we want something that we can control, that the ball will bounce off of, but that the ball hitting it won't move it. Just like in Pong. Go figure. And so we'll call this player. It'll be easy enough. I think in the Pong one I did basically 2 nodes with the same script. One was called AI and one was called player, something like that. All right, and then it complains because we're missing some stuff, right? We need a shape, so we can add a collision shape 2D. There we go. And then this is complaining because we have not provided the actual shape for this. And so for here, we can just say, give me a rectangular shape. And I'm gonna move, not that. I want to move the player. Motion mode, I think, will still be floating, not grounded, for reasons. In this mode, the body will react to slopes. It's suitable for sighted games like platformers, and this is not quite a platformer. This is, I guess, is kind of a top-down perspective, effectively. All right, and let's add a sprite. Someday I will actually make sprites, like actual images for elements of these games. Maybe this game, definitely the next game, which is going to be the Minesweeper. We'll do like we'll make some images for like the mines and such. Where's that placeholder? There we go. All right, so. Just adjust this until it feels right. At some point, I do have some notes on the other screen about kind of what I intend to do for this game. Um, and one is maybe doing some kind of things where it's sometimes, if you're not familiar with what this game that I'm cloning is, Breakout, right? So the idea is you have a paddle at the bottom of the screen, you have a ball that bounces off the paddle. If you miss the ball and it goes off the bottom of the screen, because there will be, I think we'll do walls on either side, but the floor is lava. So the floor is like, if you miss the ball and it goes past the paddle downwards, then you lose a life. Is how I'm going to implement that anyway. You bounce the ball off, and then at the top of the screen there will be a set of objects, kind of blocky shapes, that the ball will destroy and will give the player a score based on breaking out all the blocks. And so my intent is to maybe get this as far as having multiple levels, right? So in the previous game, it just went on forever. We didn't really have a win condition, and there was a score, but it was kind of maybe impossible to proceed at some point because the ball goes too fast. There weren't lives either, so you could just go on forever. So we're gonna have lives in this. We're gonna have a score. We're gonna have a win condition, and game over. And one of the things I was thinking about doing is that sometimes there will be special bricks that will give some kind of power up that you would be able to catch with your paddle, for lack of a better word, that might do things. Yeah, something like that. I don't know exactly. Something along those lines. Maybe we can have it so that there are. It's chance based, so maybe it's sometimes a positive thing and sometimes it's a negative thing. Sometimes it makes the paddle larger, sometimes it spawns more balls, sometimes it makes the paddle smaller. Levels might change some of the width of the paddle, some of those things. That might be in a few streams, right? So I don't know how long I will spend working on this practice game. I guess until I feel comfortable with what I've built and kind of ready to move on. So it's in flux. So I think that seems fine. We need to make the collision shape match the size of our sprite, though. Otherwise, things are gonna get confusing. There are snapping modes. Lock selected nodes, use grid snapping, use smart snapping. There we go. That's not that smart, is it? What if... Oh, I know what's going on. I'm in scale mode. Let's go here. Nope, that did not help at all. You don't want to snap to that, do you? I feel like I ran into this before. What was my solution? Was it just to change the oh, see that? No, okay. Let's see if we can go the other way. If I grab this. Yeah, that snapped. Why does one want to snap to the other but not the other way around? I don't know. Okay, good enough. Alright, so terrific. Oh, I forgot to no, it's fine. So I was gonna say I forgot to attach the script, but no, I have to attach the script and then there's a template. So this is a thing that I missed when I first started the last project, the first project, was that there's a template for basic movement. And yeah, so we're gonna use that template. That's gonna open VS Code. And yeah, I trust myself. Okay, so this is the basic character movement template that's available that Godot is like, hey, if you're attaching a script to a character body 2D, maybe you want this. And well, we don't jump, so that's fine. We don't fall. We do want to be able to move in different directions, right? So we're gonna get UI left and UI right, but we don't really want to do that. As it says here, as a good practice, you should replace UI actions with custom gameplay actions. So we're gonna do that next, because the first thing I want to see today, and hopefully we're gonna do a lot more than this today, but the first thing I want to see is, can we run the scene? And can we move the paddle back and forth? And then think about how I want to do. How I want to place the ball. Yeah. Okay. So project settings. Input map. I'm gonna add an action. We're gonna call this move left and move right. I've not really played around with this dead zone option. I noticed that when we were in the raw project file and kind of cleaning out the actions. Do we have a tooltip about what this is for? Interesting. Okay, and then we can bind things to this. So we can set keyboard keys. Interesting. Oh, can I just do this? Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Right, I forgot. And then, so how does it work if I want to? Can I control this with mouse? I don't have a controller here, so I wonder if that's something that I can even bind. Okay, first of all, let me hide all the joypad buttons. Perhaps not. Perhaps mouse movement is not something that I can hook onto in this manner. Okay, interesting. Let me, before I just give up on that idea, let's do a little Googling. Godot, input map, mouse movement, mouse and input coordinates. So there is an event callback we can provide, and we can check to see if the event is an input event mouse motion and get the position. The mouse mode is set to mouse mode captured. The event position value from motion is the center of the screen. Use event.relative. Okay. Interesting. keyboard input, supporting both mouse and controller input for an action, such as looking around, will require different code paths. Oh yeah, input.get vector is a thing. Move left, move right. Get axis. Oh yeah, here's the explanation of what it means by dead zone as well. Controllers offer axes with analog inputs. Right. So that makes sense. Like, the dead zone is like if you move the sticks ever just so slightly, it just ignores if it's below a certain threshold, right? Never be equal to 0 to how controllers this be built. It'll linger around a low value. Okay, well maybe I'll come back to the idea of having mouse control for this, just because I don't want to get stuck on that, and it's not the most important thing. Yeah, and this is already using get axis, except we're going to change this to be move left and move right. And this is just going to say, hey, there's a speed, and you should take the direction from the input and multiply it by the speed and set our velocity to that. If there is a direction being set, and if there's not, then take the velocity towards 0 at a rate of speed, which is pretty good logic. So we're going to save the scene. And I'll worry about folder structure later. We're gonna hit play and select current scene, and we have a paddle. It could be faster. Yeah, I think faster will be better. Let's double the speed. Let's triple the speed. There, that feels properly responsive. And now we should not be able to go off the edge of the screen. So to prevent that, let's add some walls. So how do I want to do this? This needs to be like an area 2D, right? It's a region of 2D space defined by one or multiple collision-shaped 2Ds. No, or was that... what did I learn last time? There's a rigid body. Hold on. So inside of physics body, let's look at the tree. So node 2D. Collision object 2D, physics body 2D, static body. So a static 2D physics body can't be moved by external forces or contacts, but can be moved manually. Versus a rigid body is a fully implemented 2D physics. I think I want a static body. Let's go look at the Pong game. Like, the whole thing, right, with these practice games is that I have them as a reference to be able to say, how did I do that last time? So if I go into scenes and I look at, is it game container? That's the script. The game container scene. How was this set up? So we have rectangular shape, circle shape, placeholder textures, label, control, color rect. Okay, walls are static body 2D. with 2 collision shape 2Ds. Okay, static body 2D. Walls again. And then we add a collision shape 2D. And this is going to be a rectangular shape. And get some handles to hold on to this. Alright. And it doesn't really matter how wide we make these. We're just going to position these right off the edge of the screen. Snap to grid. If I can only see what's going on. 17. Hey, Brainless.
Brainless Society just subscribed for 17 months. 17, my favorite number.
It is a prime number. It has that going for it. Is that why it's your favorite? Hello. Oh, sorry. Hello. Okay. All right, and then we duplicate. Or I can just hit Control D. And we move this over to the other side. Nah, it's simpler. I was born on the 17th. I see. I was born on the 14th. 14 is not my favorite number. Do I have a favorite number? I don't know. That looks good. All right, so, oops. Let's get out of that mode so I can actually click the canvas. Let's run it. The fact that it's a prime is just a plus, sure. All right, there we go. So now the paddle can't go off the screen. And that means when we add the ball here in a minute, it will also not go off the sides, which is good. And then I'm gonna add another, this one will be an area 2D, right? Because we just want an area to detect when the ball enters it. And this is going to be our, we call it the pit, the dead zone, the whatever, and then add another collision shape 2D to this, and then add a rectangular shape 2D, and we will move it down here, I guess. Scale mode. All right. Let's make sure we don't leave a little gap that somehow the ball can escape. Leave the game in a weird state. We wouldn't want that. Here we go. Okay, so I think that's fine. Did I do this with the, did I attach a script? So for the Pong game, I had like goalposts on either side, right? Oh, and I guess the other thing I need to do in walls is I need to, let's duplicate this again. And we are going to move the, oh, excuse you. That was unexpected. Oh, they share the same shape, right? They share one instance of this shape. So let's make a new one. Okay. I learned a new thing. Brian said, I just remembered back when I was a kid around 1998. All I wanted was to make games, and I got a book for a language called Div, which was focused on that. You made Space Invaders. Well, a Space Invaders. I've never heard of Div. Interesting. But just Space Invaders? Lost interest, or got frustrated, or just got busy with other things? Alright, so now we have a roof. Likely I'll have to consider, like, we could add some art for the walls and the roof, and then I'll move these shapes inwards. Add some sprites for the walls. You still have the book, is more like a pocketbook, really tiny, interesting. Okay, so let's add a ball. So the ball is also going to be a character body 2D that we're going to create. And we have to add a sprite 2D, I can spell, and a collision shape. Collision shape 2D. And then give it a shape, and we'll do a circle shape. And then we'll move this kind of to the center of the screen for now. We'll just call this ball. The sprite, we will use a placeholder texture. And scale it. Is there a key? Oh yeah, okay, so shift, scales. What I should do is I should do something like this, and when we put the actual texture, it'll be a ball. Alright. Okay, and then I do need a script for the ball. We'll go ahead and use the template, although we won't actually. Don't need a jump velocity. We'll have like actually, let's do this. Let's do like export var initial direction. Have it go down. And I think we just need a like a. I don't even know if we need the physics process for this, but we'll do func ready. Yeah, we can do that. So then let's do export speed. Let's do speed like this. All right, so that will set the initial velocity of the ball to be going down in speed direction, or in the initial direction at the speed. And so that means we have this over here. We have a initial speed, so that we can customize. And if I play this, the ball goes very fast. Okay, 900 is too fast. Let's change it. Let's make it like 400. And then this happens. Because the motion mode is grounded. That's why. It should be floating. Like that. Alright. We'll have to restart, because of course the ball at that point had landed on the paddle, and so had lost all of its velocity. So we don't have like friction or anything. I was kind of expecting it to... Oh, right, we haven't implemented bouncing. We have to actually implement bouncing. The good news, we already did that once. Why would we do it again? Where is our ball script? Oh, right, and we should do a timer so that we can do all the respawn. Do I just want to copy this whole script? Can I just reuse this script for our new ball for this game? I definitely don't want to have like the score stuff here. This is not detail I want to have the ball handle. Think about that for a second. Yeah, let's take this and we'll customize it a bit. So we'll do this, and then I'll bring in the bounce sound. We'll reuse that. I want to add another signal here for the is this gonna make sense? I do want the respawn thing. I think maybe it's a mistake to have that logic be in the ball script like this, because we're going to want to feed kind of the countdown for the respawn. Like as it's shown in this script, we like had to like find the labels and update them. I don't want to do that here. Like the logic for the movement of the ball shouldn't know anything about the UI. So let's not do that. I think what I'll need to do is I will need to have some kind of singleton, like something that the ball knows to call, because it's not going to make sense to even I don't know if this bounce signal will make sense either, right? So just thinking about the directionality of like who is receiving the event, it's like maybe there should be some kind of game controller that the ball calls, and then it could emit signals if it needs to a couple things. And Brainless said, all right, had to resort to AI to search the web. It's not easy to find. It seems it was a language developed in Spain with the C-style syntax. Sure. That could be true. Just thinking about, did you actually find like a website that talked about it, or was that all from AI? Okay, so what do I want to do here? Let's keep the timer. Let's I'm gonna get rid of the bounce signal for now. We'll have what calls score? So this must be hooked into from something else. Okay. There is a new project now, but the images of books were all in Spanish, and there's a Wikipedia for Spanish as well. Okay. Okay, I see. So I will likely add some of this back. I just am going to add it in a different way. What calls a reset ball? Okay, so that was some external thing hooked into this. Okay, so we're gonna remove all this. I'm not even gonna do the, oh, right. So the, on timeout called reset position, yeah? Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do for now is we're not gonna have a timer. We're just going to do reset position. And then I don't have anything that refers to this, right? Cool. Oh, my phone thinks I'm talking to it. Silly phone. Okay, so we have that. Which has our collision logic. And then we have this thing that if the target has a method, we can call that method on it. Seems harmless. Is there anything that's going to be broken by us not having things besides not having the bounce sound? We will add the bounce sound. Let me go find the other project. Documents. Yeah, new key project. Audio. Yeah. All right. Folder. And import that. Great.
I saw it when I walked, boy.
Okay. And all right, and then just adds an audio stream player. Okay, cool. But it needs to be called bounce sound. There we go. Oh yeah, and let's set up our audio. So let's add 2 buses. It'll be music and effects. Which both feed into master. And then bounce sound will be playing on effects. Great. So that is that. And that gets saved to default belts layout. Okay, cool. Okay, so we have a ball that bounces. It has a sound, hopefully. And to start, let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, I probably need to change the initial position. That's fine. Oh no, I think it's random. I'll have to go look at the script. Yeah, super interesting, right? All right. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So we call reset position. We have a spawn position. Okay, cool. So what I just need to do is I need to go to ball, and the spawn position needs to be middle of the screen. And so what is the middle of the screen? Well, it is half of where is that set? A window? 1152. I don't suppose I can interact with this from here. Yeah, 11. Nope. Maybe not. Nope. So hold on. Fine. Be that way. 1152. Oh yeah. So I think this was one stream at the end where I was kind of struggling with like, how do I get it so that the coordinate of the ball where it spawns in the middle of the screen works even when I resize the screen. And the takeaway of that was like we have a fixed set of coordinate viewport coordinates. So if I just plug in half of each of these as a set spawn position for the ball, and I use that, then regardless of the like size of the screen, everything is scaled, right? From the viewport coordinates to the actual like pixel coordinates on screen, so, like screen coordinates, let's say. So this is what 550 plus 26, 576, and much easier, 324. I guess we're gonna find out when we play the game if the ball's at the center. All right, and somehow it's been an hour. No comment about why it took an hour to do that, but we got there. It's a satisfying sound. I'm glad I found that. I think that was a CC0 sound. We can double check because that would have been in our credits. But I'm gonna have to take a break here for a couple minutes because Twitch wants to run ads, so it's gonna do that. I'm gonna get up and stretch my legs. I'll be back in a couple minutes, and we'll do some more gaming. So